everybody, welcome to Review A Day episode number 7 for Tuesday, August the 19th, 2008. Hello everybody, welcome to Review A Day, the daily video blog where I review a movie 7 days a week. My name is Leland Brenger. Welcome, thank you very much for joining me. And the film I'm going to review for you guys today is the classic Federico Fellini film, La Strada. This film came out in 1954. It's directed by who I consider to be one of the all-time greatest movie directors, Federico Fellini. He's really known for, kind of later on in his career, really surreal works. This movie is much more based in reality. I'll get to that in a little bit. The movie is directed by Fellini, written by Fellini, and another person named Tullio Pinelli. Butchering Italian, I'm sorry. The film stars his wife, Giulietta Messina, Anthony Quinn, and Richard Basehart. Two American actors actually are the co-stars in this movie, which is very interesting. This film is about a young girl named Gelsomina, played by Giulietta Messina. Her mother sells her to a traveling kind of circus performer named Zampano. This was in post-World War II, so films, stories like this of people who are getting sold are very common among Italian neo-realism films. And the movie's called La Strada, which means the road, and so we follow Zampano and Gelsomina from town to town. She ends up actually kind of falling in love with someone named The Fool, who's played by Richard Basehart. I don't want to give too much away because if you haven't seen this, you're lucky because you get to see it for the very first time. And I think to really appreciate this film, you kind of need to know the setting and background, which is post-World War I, post-World War II Italy. And the film movement of the time, from I think the 20s up until kind of Fellini started changing things, was Italian neo-realism, which is where they used all real actors, they filmed and bombed out buildings, everything felt very real. People often confuse these films for being documentaries when they're not. A really great Italian neo-realism film is The Bicycle Thief. If you haven't seen that, it's one of the classic Italian works. So this movie looks like Italian neo-realism, but it's not. Fellini definitely switched things up just by using actors, by using professional actors in this movie. It was much different, and the fact that he used two American actors in this film was crazy. These old movies back then, they didn't record sound on the set. I think the cameras were too loud, and so they would actually end up dubbing them later. And so the voices you hear of Zampano and Richard Basehart in the movie aren't their real voices. There is an American dub with English, but you lose a lot because the real stand-up performance in this movie is Giulietta Messina, so they have an American actress read it, and it's not the same. This movie is amazing. It's probably my favorite Fellini film, and I think a lot of that has to do with Giulietta Messina's performance. She's phenomenal. And this is probably my favorite film she's done. I think I like this one more than Nights of Cabiria, which is another one she's really famous for. I'll do a review of that very soon. But her performance is incredible. She got dubbed the female Charlie Chaplin after this movie, and I understand because she channels Charlie Chaplin for a lot of this movie, but I also think that does a great disservice to her role because she is so much more than just Charlie Chaplin in this movie. She's very sweet and very funny and naive, but she's somehow smart and empowered, and it's so hard to describe it without having someone seen it. So it's great. Anthony Quinn, who plays Zampano in the film, is also amazing. He's this big, angry character who his circus acts are that he breaks chains with his chest, and he's so angry. But Anthony Quinn makes him very sad and almost sympathetic, except that he's doing such terrible things to Gelsomina in this movie. He forces himself on her sexually at one point. It's 1954, so it's very implied, and compared to today's standards, it's nothing. This film often gets criticized for being misogynistic, and I don't agree with that. I think the story Fellini tells at the end of this movie, it's the hard story. it doesn't follow Gelsomina. The end of the movie follows Zampano. And I don't think we're supposed to feel sympathy for him. I think it's just, we have to watch him deal with the things he's done. And the ending is heartbreaking. This film, it gets to me every single time, and it kills me, the ending of this movie. This film is so amazing, as with all of Fellini films, in a large part due to the Nino Rota score. Nino Rota, you probably know him from doing the music for The Godfather. When I hear the music for The Godfather now, that opening melody that's in all of them, I think it's just completely derivative of the score he did for Strada, and I think Strada's score is far better. He did almost every single Fellini film, if not all of them. I have a bunch of his songs on my computer. I love his scores, and it adds so much to this film. If you haven't seen any Fellini films, if you haven't seen Strada, if you don't know who these are, please see it, especially if you're interested in it. I know that this movie's probably not going to be for everyone. It's a black and white Italian movie post-World War II. I know this isn't for everyone, but if you are interested at all in classic black and white foreign films, this is a great place to start. Fellini in general is a great place to start. I love this film top to bottom. It's probably in my top 10 list, and I think I'm going to be doing a Fellini a day this week, so I'll be talking to you guys tomorrow about Nights of Cabiria, which is another great Julieta Messina film that Fellini did. I love it top to bottom, so thank you very much for watching. If you guys are enjoying these reviews, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.